What are these smaller doors inside our hotel bathroom door? We are staying at a hotel in Paris that definitely used to be an apartment building. Our bathroom door has two smaller doors inside the door, and we can't figure out what the purpose of them are. Both doors have locks on them from the inside. Any ideas? We have friends in the French countryside with kids, pets, and no AC. They use their Dutch doors to keep kids and pets out in specific rooms, while still being able to hear them or communicate with an eye on them, and also for ventilation. What is this plastic-like texture about 6 inches long? My friend said his grandpa brought this back from Korea a long time ago, and they never knew what it was. I haven't done much research since I'm not really sure where to even start. Thanks in advance. It's a flea trap from the 18th century. It consisted of a hollow perforated cylindrical tube, sometimes ornately carved and made of silver or ivory. Back in that era, fleas were a common problem for all classes, as they would happily live in everyone's clothes, or even hair, beds, wigs, and mostly on pets. So the use of a flea trap became something of a popular fashion accessory. It was worn on a ribbon as a necklace or hanging down inside a dress. It could also be placed in a bed to attempt to rid that of fleas. A German doctor designed the first flea trap in the early 1700s. What is this heavy object about 10 kilograms and 35 centimeters tall by 25 centimeters wide at the top side? Found in the Netherlands. It has thick glass mirrors and odd shapes, and I think made of cast iron. Any ideas? I have one just like this at work. This is a very specialized equipment. It's very old and meant to use in production photography for printing works. With this tool you could make a readable negative for use in printing, instead of an unreadable negative a camera normally would produce. If that makes sense. I have failed to find the proper English term for it, but in Dutch, it's called a Dakenspiegel. They were very expensive since they needed to be aligned perfectly. What is this thin metal thing with irregular holes, possibly made of brass based on the metal detector readings? It was found in a row of house foundations from an 1800s era town that was wiped out in a flood in 1904. It is bent but not broken. The end that is not square is intentionally asymmetrical. There are small perfectly round holes punched irregularly into the edges. What is this thing? It is part of a clock mechanism. The gears, springs and shafts are attached to the holes. An additional similar plate would be attached by short posts, and the clock mechanism sits between the two plates. I have built many clocks. What is this small brass object with amber-colored glass inside? It looks old and relatively small, less than an inch in diameter. The glass isn't set in solid, it's loose inside the brass housing, but fits just so as to not fall out. What is it? It's an old cat-eye glass marble reflector from the 1920s. These are the clear marbles like you might find on a railroad crossing or stop sign. They used to put reflective marbles on signs before the reflective paint spheres became a thing. What is this metal object with 2 rings on the ends, 2 rivets and a curved hook in the middle? It's about 12 inches long but bent in the middle at a nearly 90-degree angle. Found in a creek in northeast Kansas. I tried to search for an image of it without much success and nothing definitive. It was found on the bottom of a creek and is quite rusty. I would guess that it has some sort of farming application based on its age, the way it was constructed, and its geographic location. Any insight is appreciated. That looks far too large to be a bridle. The rings make it look more like the part of a harness where the reins go through, called a horse harness saddle. It is originally covered with leather. What is this French antique metal device with a crank and 2 adjustable arms? Manufactured by A. Galland. About 10 inches tall and quite heavy. Found in a house that had textile-related items in Calais, France. What is it? It's an antique French yarn winder. The arms are adjustable. This would work well to wind wool or cotton, etc. It would also work for winding thread to make tassels. What is this heavy brass cage with metal balls inside and a Dachshund figure on top? Approx 10 pounds and measures 6 by 4 by 5 inches. The cage part looks relatively crude compared to the Dachshund part, which looks decent. Made from a mold. The cage has metal balls rolling around loose inside. It's very loud when shaken. It appears to be pretty old because of the patina and materials used. I've asked many people what they think this is, including antique experts, but haven't received a definitive answer. Any ideas? It's a mid to late 20th century metal Dachshund cage toy. I assume you rattle it to play with a dog, or perhaps it is intended to call dogs back home for dinner. I have one exactly like this. I got it at the flea market in Kyle, Texas, just off I-35. I paid $4 for it. What is this thing I found in an apartment I moved into in Barcelona? It's about the same length and width as a laptop, and the two flap things are on springs and snap back. It was found in a cupboard, along with some kitchenware items like jars and olive oil dispensers. I have no idea as to its age, but it has sort of an older style, as you can see. The two flap parts on it have pretty strong springs in them, and they snap back down pretty hard. I really can't work out what it could be for. Any ideas? It fits over the arm of a sofa to give you a flat surface to hold a drink or remote. I was gifted a similar one as a housewarming gift. What is this small fragrant cuboid from Morocco? We were thinking it was soap. I got this as a gift from Morocco. It doesn't dissolve or get any softer in water, but has a perfume-like smell to it. It's not completely hard but doesn't break off either. What is it? It's a traditional Moroccan perfume block. They are traditionally rubbed lightly on pulse points, across clothing or through your hair or beard. They can be placed amongst your clothes or linen, adding a lingering subtle scent that lasts for years. What are these 8 massive silverish metal spheres or containers, floating near the shore at a shipbreaking yard in Bangladesh? Seen in the Planet Snapshots newsletter. These are very large silver metal spherical containers. What are they for? Are they part of a ship? They are aluminum LNG tanks, up to 11 inches thick. I sailed on a similar ship in the 80s, probably waiting to barge them off to a mill that handles aluminum. I would imagine these breaking yards are close to steel mills, but they are not set up to easily handle aluminum. What is this strange pocket watch with a lever and odd face? It's a pocket watch with a little lever, a strange face, and no hands. I've tried Google image lookup and a few searches like pocket watch with a face like a pie chart, but haven't been able to find anything. What is it? Please tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.